Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about TB test. This is one of the requirements that's needed for you to obtain a visa. I've talked about English test in my previous video, which is another requirement. If you need to know how to book the correct English test, please watch that video. So today I'm focusing on TB test, ensuring that you book yourself the correct one that's approved. I'm going to be talking about who needs to have a TB test and who doesn't. And I'm going to be talking about the costs and the process itself. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, comment, like. I'm interested to know who's watching these videos. Put a comment, let me know where you're watching from and if you find anything interesting. So these are the things that I'm covering. If you want me to cover more things, do let me know in the comments section. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to take you to the UK government website where I'll be talking about each point separately. So let's get right into it. So TB test is required not for everybody, but for listed countries. So we'll go back into those listed countries so you can find out whether you're one of those people who needs it or not. So you're required to have a TB test if you're from a listed country and you're coming into the UK for more than 6 months. So if you're coming as a student or you're coming to work, you're required to have one. But if you're visiting for less than 6 months, you're not required to have one. So who does not need to be tested? So you do not need to be tested if you're a diplomat who's coming into the UK. If you're a returning resident who's coming back to the UK and you've not been away for more than 2 years, you don't need to be tested. If you've lived at least 6 months in a country that's not listed and you're coming into the UK, you do not need to be tested. So that's 6 months staying in a country where screening is not required. You do not need to be tested. So I'm going to move on to talk about children because I'm aware that some people want to come to the UK with their family. So I want you to know that if you have children under 11, they're not required to have an X-ray. But you do need to take them to a clinic so that they can be assessed and be given a certificate of clearance. And this is important for your visa application. I'm going to move on to pregnant women. So with pregnant women, you can have an extra shield when you have your X-ray. So if you're in a second or third trimester, you can have that. You basically have 3 choices. So the first choice is if you're in a second and third trimester, you can have an extra shield so that your baby is protected. The second choice that you have is to take a sputum test instead of having the normal X-ray, and there's an additional charge for this. So this would differ depending on the country you're coming from. The third option is to wait until you've delivered your baby. Right. I'm now moving on to looking at where you can have your test. So it's important that I stress this. You cannot have a test anywhere else apart from the places and the clinics that are approved by the UK government. So I'm going to go through these list, and these are the countries as well where if you're belonging to any of these countries or you've stayed in this country for more than 6 months prior to your application, you need to be tested. So I'm not going to go through every single country, but I'm going to browse through quickly so that you can see whether you're eligible or whether you should be tested or not. So I'm just showing you now the list of countries, and in all of these countries you can get tested, or they're telling you where you can get tested. So let's have a look. Right, it's impossible for me to share the cost and the requirements for each test. So what I'm going to do is just pick one of these after I finish showing you, and just look at the requirements. The requirements are the same, but it's just the cost that's a little bit different. So we're nearly there, getting to Z. So I'll pick Zimbabwe and then we'll look at Zimbabwe together. So for Zimbabwe, it's the things that I've talked about already. That if you're a returning resident, you don't need to have one. So the approved clinic in Zimbabwe, I'm putting the address there so everybody else can see it. It looks like there's only one approved clinic in Zimbabwe. The contact number you can see on the screen, the address you can also see on the screen, and their email address is also on the screen. So they're open from 9 to 11, but they do the test from Monday to Friday. They're open from Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. That's when you can have a chest x-ray. But if you're having a different physical examination, so like we've talked about for women and for children, that's from 11:30 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. And they're closed national bank weekends and national holidays. So prior to going to the clinic, you're required to contact them so that you can confirm your appointment. So what should you bring with you? So when you go there, you should take your passport or any ID that has your photo on it. Take 2 passport photographs that are passport size photographs. You need to take your registration document if you're a refugee applicant. Bring your TB fee, which I'm going to talk about shortly. If you've had TB in the past or you've had lung diseases, you should provide details of your previous screening and, if possible, your medical notes and x-ray results. So the test fee in Zimbabwe is $165 for everyone 11 years and above. For children below 11, it's $75. So payments can be made through the bank, and those are the bank details. I would recommend you phone before you transfer any money and get your booking confirmed before you make any payment. You can also book online. Just bear with me. I'm just going to check with you where you can have the screening. Just a second. All right, I'll share that link with you separately because I think it's on a different page. Yeah, I think that's about it really. I'll put the link because I can't see it now. I'll put the link in the description box, and then you can always click and make a payment. Book yourself one and make a payment online, and that's really it. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, please share it, subscribe, comment and like it. It's going to encourage me to do more content. If you haven't already done so, I've got a video that you can watch on how to book the correct English test, how to write your CV, interviews. There's quite a lot of videos that are quite useful for tier 2 visas. Thank you for joining me.